Consultant nurses, midwives and allied health professionals in NHS Grampian are clinical leads for a range of services which contribute towards enhancing the health and well-being of people living in Grampian. In this video, we share some of the key achievements and contributions of the NHS Grampian NMAP consultants towards the development, governance and delivery of both local and national health services. We reflect the key performance areas of these posts, which are underpinned by expert clinical practice, and those include clinical and professional leadership, policy and service development, research and evaluation, and education and professional development.
For this video, I'd like to speak about my PhD research, which has been focusing on the experiences of older adults with a functional mental illness, their carers and health and social care professionals. I undertook an integrative review, and the findings from that revealed that older adults often feel that functional mental illness is an inevitable consequence of ageing, and this is mirrored by their healthcare professionals. This in turn reflects the amount of support that they get. From that, there's a gap of knowledge that has been revealed, and I'm now going on to collect data to highlight what influences older people with mental illness to access mental health services. From my PhD research so far, I have one article that's been accepted with the Journal of Clinical Nursing.
Some of the pieces of work I've been involved in come from the National AHP Dementia Group, which has been involved in developing and rolling out Connecting People, Connecting Support, which is the AHP offer to people with dementia. Some of the specific interventions for post-diagnostic support that we've taken forward are home-based memory rehab, which is an individualised occupational therapy programme of self-management, as well as Journeying Through Dementia, which is a co-produced occupation-based group focusing on community connections and living as full a life as possible. Both of these have been trialled in Grampian as part of a national programme.
Having the honour of co-chairing the Grampian Dementia Conference is hugely inspiring for me. Making an impact in my role as Alzheimer's Scotland Dementia Nurse Consultant with over 200 attendees annually over 5 years, with national and local keynote speakers, workshops and poster presentations. Sharing evidence-based practice, innovation and both personal and professional experiences to enhance knowledge, understanding for colleagues that will impact on practice and direct and indirect care delivery. The event has provided a platform to network across all professions and services, hearing from people living with dementia, their families and carers. The evaluation of the conference event year on year continues to be positive. I truly believe that the conference is one of the ways we ensure that we are developing services locally and sharing improvements that support achieving the commitments of Scotland's National Dementia Strategy and standards of care for dementia here in Grampian.
My role is around providing strategic direction and leadership to nurses involved in cancer care, together with the development of services for patients and families affected by cancer. So we aim to do this by using evidence and expert knowledge to shape services so that all patients will experience the best possible care and support at every stage of their cancer. Evidence of need for one of our projects originated from analysis of recent Scottish Cancer Patient Experience surveys and local data collection, which highlighted challenges for patients of speaking to an actual person rather than answer phone, and from the nurse specialist perspective, the number of calls received which did not require their input. To streamline this, the Macmillan Navigator project has developed. This is a telephone triage service which will establish support workers or navigators as the first point of contact of patients and for families for all questions or queries. They will listen, establish what needs to happen using an assessment tool, assess who else needs to be involved and take responsibility for ensuring the right signposting. The navigators will work closely with clinical nurse specialist teams so that if someone affected by cancer calls with a clinical question, the navigator ensures this is handled appropriately in consultation with the appropriate specialist, thus improving the patient experience and allowing nurse specialists to focus on complex clinical needs, development and innovation.
I'm the consultant occupational therapist in stroke for NHS Grampian, and I was principal investigator on the HealthWorks research project, which evaluated the impact of training for health and social care professionals to be able to support people more effectively with regards to work, employability and health by using a brief intervention and signposting to provide advice as part of usual healthcare. As the Grampian Regional Representative on the National Vocational Rehabilitation Steering Group, we develop national vocational rehabilitation pathways, health and work information and service information which have been used as examples for other health boards in Scotland. The need for a vocational rehabilitation specialist post was also identified through this work, and I'm pleased to say that we've recently recruited to this post as part of the Major Trauma Network, and will ensure that we'll be able to offer high quality and sustainable vocational rehabilitation services across Grampian.
My role was developed in order to support the national agenda around advanced nurse practitioners, which started back in 2016. There's three main components that I help with. I help with making sure that trainees get the right academic programme to support their master's level study in advanced clinical practice. I help with clinical supervision, where they're out in practice developing their skills and getting clinical competency sign-off. And that's the last part, is making sure that that clinical competency sign-off is of the correct standard and is supported by a robust portfolio of evidence. I have support around this from the Advanced Care Academy, and I work very closely with them and the Academy Fellows in terms of having breadth across NHS Grampian to work alongside practitioners.
This is a new post that's recently been developed to help provide support and leadership by working collaboratively with individuals and teams who provide care across the region. Later this month, NHS Grampian will be launching a new strategic framework for palliative and end-of-life care, which will set out a clear direction along with key priorities for improvements over the next 3 years. My role will be to influence practice and help develop services with the principal aim of producing better outcomes for our patients, families and carers.
The legislation of the duty of candour came into place in April 2018. During that period of time, we worked collaboratively throughout NHS Grampian and have focused on the duty of candour and DTEX reporting. We now have a formalised governed approach to that. We've also worked with the leg ulcer specialists throughout Grampian and have developed a leg ulcer guidance. In 2020, we hope to develop a negative pressure technology pathway which will help reduce surgical site infections.
Hi, I'm the consultant midwife for NHS Grampian. I just recently commenced some posts and I'm so excited to join the NMAP community. The key role of the consultant midwife is to support midwives to provide practice effectively, to provide high quality care for women and their families in Grampian. I have just recently commenced my clinical doctorate and I hope to bring some learning from this back into clinical care in Grampian.
I have been in my post for 5 weeks, which is a clinical role, and hope that the scope of my practice will enhance the current prostate patient pathway in NHS Grampian.
So that's just some examples of the work we do as nurse, midwife and allied health professional consultants. This will be available in a written report as well, and if you'd like to get in touch with any of us, we'll be able to share more about what we do as consultants for NHS Grampian. Thank you.